you had phenomenal goaltending in both games this weekend. So what can you say about your goaltenders today?
Yeah, that's what. Well, actually, that's the first thing we were talking about after the game. That I've been here for 6 years, and I don't remember. Well, we never had that much depth as far as goaltender. Having four guys that could easily play in the AHL, and I mean that's the luxury we have this year. That when Burden was gone, we had DeRozie come in and play a good game in Chicago, and then when DeRozie and Ulm got called up, or DeRozie got hurt, we have Cormier comes in and he plays well. So, I mean, yeah, no, it's a huge part of our success this year has been our goaltending, whether it was Burden home or Carms and DeRozier. All four of them play outstanding game, and like you mentioned this weekend, both of them give us a chance to win game, and that's what you expect from your goalie every night. But it's not easy, and wasn't easy for them. Also, the fact that been on the road, DeRozier hurt his knee, and then got COVID, and yeah, no, our goalies are a huge part, if not the most important part of our success this year.
I don't think it's an understatement to say you guys are undermanned the last little bit, especially on the road and now here at home. And you have a team in Chicago that's one of the best teams in the AHL. So you knew that as a coaching staff. What kind of joy do you get from your team knowing that they played like a team and were able to defeat a Chicago team that, like I said, was number one in the AHL?
No, we're really, really proud of them. The way they conduct themselves for the past 3 weeks. Actually since the Christmas break, we've been hit by COVID really hard. We had at times 10 guy missing for games, and we had to play on the road and difficult place to win game, and beat Chicago twice this weekend. We could not be any prouder than we are from those guys to battle to stay in the game. To obviously we had to defend first, because we didn't have the offense or as much offense as we'd like to, but all those guys been called up or hurt. So I mean, they did whatever it took, to win games. Whether it was blocking shots, playing more physical, killing penalty that we never asked them to play a kill penalty this year, or play on a power play. So yes, it is some opportunity for some guys, but to battle every night, knowing that we're shortage of players, we have to play a few defense on up front like Noj and so yeah, no, we're I mean, there's a lot of character in that dressing room, and like I mentioned before the game, they like each other. They like to play for each other. They're happy for the success of the guy next to them, and yesterday was Evan Paulai scoring a goal in overtime. Guys were excited for him. Tonight was Nozier scoring 2 goals up front. They were so excited for him. So yeah, guys enjoy each other. They're willing to go to the battle for the guy next to them in the dressing room. So it's nice to see, and we're really proud of them, and they deserve a couple of days off this week.
And that's the other one I was going to ask you about. You touched on it with your answer just there with Nelson Noje. Not easy for him this year. I've been asked to transition from playing defense to, whether he's in the lineup or not, play as a forward. And you could just see the elation on the bench when he actually scored first the goal, and then of course sealed the deal with the empty netter. So what can you say about him? How tough a position he's in to be able to have to make that transition and then to be able to come in with that sort of attitude?
Yeah, no, you're right. He's first and foremost, he's a great person, a great individual. He was raised well, very unselfish person. It's always about the team, and this year we asked him to, become our seventh defenseman, because we had so many young prospects that are doing well, in front of him, and it's hard for a guy that's been in the league for 3, 4, 5 years, and I'm sure it wasn't easy for him, but and at times we're asking him to play up front, for him to get in the lineup, and he never said no. Yeah, whatever you guys need me to do for you guys to keep helping the team. So he's very unselfish, and it just shows how great of a guy he is. an individual, and so guys liked him. You know, they really enjoy his company and around the team, and they want him to succeed. And when you have a night like tonight, you know, I could see guys were so thrilled that he had a good performance, but also that he contribute to the win. You know, so yeah, no, he's a good teammate. You know.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Go next to Jacob Stoller from Full Press Hockey. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey, Eric. You know, players have talked about how it's a very close group, obviously, and there's a lot of collective buy-in. But also recently, players have really highlighted the inclusivity that has happened, and people welcoming players in and whatnot. Which players would you say are sort of the leaders in that sense and kind of foster that environment of bringing guys in well? And I know there's a lot, but if you could just touch on a couple.
Well, you know, we it just reminded me one of our first meeting that we had this year. We asked the leadership group where it was Covey and Jamie and Meyer and so we asked them. Luke Johnston was in that part of that group as well. And anyway, we have about 6-7 guys that are a part of our leadership group, and so we asked them first thing that comes to your mind when to be a good teammate, and the first word that came in was inclusion. We have to be able to include everybody, whether they're a rookie, whether they're coming from the East Coast, whether if new guys are feeling like they're part of our team, if they were feeling like they're included into the success of our team, everything from there will go well. So to answer your question, that was the first word that came out of that leadership group. It might have been Covey that mentioned that word, but it was unanimous between them that that should be the most important thing on our board, and you could tell guys when they're coming from the East Coast, whether they were part of the Moose or Jets organization, they felt like they were part. Felt like they were welcomed by everybody, and it started with our leadership group and our captain and assistant.
Just for clarification on that, Eric, did you say that meeting happened in training camp or just before the season or early on in the season?
Yeah, just before the season started. So I guess during training camp.
Sure.
During the Moose training camp, you know, we try to reinforce what do you need to do to be a good teammate, and that was the first word that came from our leadership group. So yeah, we have a few board in our dressing room about things like that, and that was the first one. So for you to mention that word was kind of just confirm what the guys are doing so well in the dressing room.
And last question here, what was your reaction to hearing that? Were you surprised or like satisfied, or was that something that you didn't really expect to hear?
No, I was really satisfied. I was really happy to hear that word. I totally agree. If it's the same thing for the Jets. If a rookie goes with the Jets or us, a young player or a guy coming from the East Coast, if he's not welcome the proper way, it's hard for a player to feel good, to feel comfortable. Feel like you're walking on eggshell, and you don't want to disturb, you don't want to be noticed by anybody, if you're not included. So, I was really happy, but I wasn't surprised. I knew that leadership group from last year, they show a lot of a good sign that, and I could see the chemistry last year. So I was expecting that chemistry to go on right away from the start, but that meeting kind of confirmed what I saw last year.
Thanks, Eric.
Yep.
Just circling back for one more for Dave Manuk from Illegal Curve. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, it's a real technical question, but with Marty Johnson in COVID protocol, what was it like having Richard Bowie on the bench with you guys today?
I don't know. You have to ask Mark because he was next to Mark. Yeah, it's nice to see Richard being involved being on the bench like that. This year we got him on the ice a few times with us. So it's just give him a like we mentioned, inclusion. Yeah, so we included Richard behind the bench tonight.